Alright, finally home and shooting properly. Let's get this show on the road. I'm Ferradans and this is Anamorphic on a Budget video reviews. Today we're going to be talking about this Century Optex 16:9 ratio converter. This little bugger goes by many names and brands, all of them sharing the same weaknesses and strengths. They were made during the 90s when the 16:9 aspect ratio was becoming more popular, but there was still plenty of 4:3 video cameras around. They were made by Optex, Soligor, and mostly Century Optics. These adapters have a 1.33 squeeze that converts 4:3 footage into 16:9. Fortunately for us, 16:9 becomes 2.36:1, our beloved CinemaScope aspect ratio. Since there was a plethora of cameras with different mounts, these little adapters have regular threads such as 37mm, 58mm, but also some strange bayonet mounts. The one I'm using now is the most desired version with 58mm threads. But check out my blog for a quick and dirty explanation and tutorial of how to convert a biomount Century into a filter threaded one, 52mm. Unfortunately, they don't have front threads, but Redstone has special clamps designed for them, and it's very easy to just stick a step-down ring in front of them with electrical tape. Here I used an 82 to 72 step ring, which will introduce some vignetting on wider lenses, but it makes the adapter much more usable because now I can put diopters in front of it. These adapters have a metal body and they weigh around 250 grams, which means they're pretty light. Alignment is adjusted by loosening this little screw here, and then you rotate the front element, and then when you're happy you just tighten the screw. Be very careful with this piece because it can come off easily and it can get lost, so you won't be able to lock your alignment, and that's bad. The 58mm version is the hardest one to find. That being said, the Century adapter is not hard to find either on eBay, Craigslist, or any online marketplace you can think of. It's actually easy to find them with owners of ODV gear. They don't even know what they're holding. And prices range from $350 to $800, depending on the quality of the glass and cosmetics. Being a fixed focus adapter, in which all the focusing is done on the taking lens, means quality can take a hit if it's not used on its optimal settings. Distances closer than 4 or 5 meters already get the Century struggling. Diopters are a must, and with them you can get pretty good detail with this cheap lens and a fast setup. Edges are pretty bad though, doesn't matter the aperture. There's lots of softness and chromatic aberration that are much more visible on wider lenses. On top of that, the Century doesn't like neither long lenses nor large apertures. You'll need diopters for both situations since you won't focus on any lens that's longer than 85mm, even on its optimal settings, which is between 5 meters to infinity. And it will create terrible looking images on any aperture below f5.6. You can also check my blog for the downloadable pack of images from the tests. Finally, something that can flare. Its strong blue flares are very sci-fi and very easy to achieve. Sunlight does wonders, and any direct light source can create them. You can see some better ones at this clip by VintageLensesForVideo. A great advantage of this adapter is being able to use wider taking lenses. Here I have an almost vignette-free image at 37mm on the 5D3 full-frame sensor, and the aspect ratio is 2.36:1 instead of the 2.4:1 as the previous tests. Vignetting becomes more intense when I add the step ring to use diopters. The only lenses that can beat this are the larger Century WS13 and the Panasonic LA7200. Whenever I use this adapter, I remember I actually like wide angles. Focusing isn't as fast as an Iskorama, but once you get the hang of diopters and become fast swapping them, one can achieve wonders using this lens. Being lightweight and compatible with wide angles make the Century a very versatile lens, good for anyone starting with anamorphics. The stretch is so subtle that this adapter doesn't create ovals, but its flares are just beautiful. the end of this episode. Thank you for watching. I'm Tito Ferradans. Be sure to subscribe for the upcoming videos and check out my blog for more anamorphic content and to watch the previous episodes.